I'm chopping faster and faster. My hands are running ahead of my mind. I do first, think after. I'm chopping onions, eyes burning, then more onions. Tomatoes, then more tomatoes. I've chopped piles of leeks, carrots, and cucumbers, and I still need to chop more. Now, this is not a cooking show or a busy restaurant. This is my apartment in New York City. I'm behind chopping, but there's something more important lurking in my mind. I'm concerned that the rice, which is the pinnacle of my culture's culinary pride, is going to be ruined tonight. I'm petrified that I won't be able to make the dinner as exquisite as my guests, especially my African competitor, is expecting of me. Let me back up a little bit. I'm son of a chef, yet until I'd come to college in America, I even didn't know how to boil pasta. I had to call my sisters in Kabul and Canada to get help. My culinary inabilities weren't entirely because I grew up in a society where moms and sisters always prepare food for the family, but because my dad didn't want us siblings to get into cooking seriously. He wanted the apples to fall a little far from the tree. Majority of Afghans didn't have formal education, so it was easy for youngsters to fall into labor-based employment, if not war. My parents, just like any other parents, wanted us to become doctors and engineers. My dad worked as a chef for American diplomats, their families, and UN officials for almost 40 years. Although it was a great career and he benefited a lot from it, he felt he missed on something bigger, education. And that's where he focused us. In addition to school, he put me in typing and English language courses. Despite war-related problems, I eventually made it to college here at Tufts University as an adult student. 6 years later, when I got a job in New York City and moved there, I found myself in the heat of cooking. My roommate and I, him also an Afghan, loved to entertain once we realized Americans liked Afghan food. It was also a way to show that we immigrants had something to contribute, something that we were proud of back home. You know, like you have B-52, but we have exotic lamb dishes. Inevitably, we got into a bit of rivalry. I remember asking him how he prepared lamb broth before adding rice in it, and he went, as in, dude, this is not how rivalry works. He would hide his spices and methods, and I would steal glances of them, pretending that I was grabbing a beer from the fridge. Sometimes he was a good guy. He would show me how to marinate kebab or something, but I couldn't understand his patronizing tone. Things like, you know, if you lower your ambition, everything will be perfect. Then came the most spectacular of my challenges. A house party with a formal DJ in it. Among 40 guests, we have people who my roommate and I are both trying to impress for professional and romantic reasons. Highlight of the menu is heavily publicized on Facebook, and it is the Afghan Kabuli Palau, which is long grain, aromatic rice, brewed in lamb broth and sauteed raisins and carrots. I see some people salivating. I also see vegans cringing. Side note, I am weekday vegan these days. Anyway, so I'm chopping, and I've chopped heaps of fruits too for sangria, but my mind is at Kabuli Palau. I'm concerned that the rice is not gonna turn out the Afghan way / Central Asian, which is soft but not sticky, which we call shola. And shola back home is what keeps the suitors away. I don't know how long I have soaked the rice for. I've cut a finger, I've burnt another, and I've got a no-show from another friend who was supposed to be over to help me. And I'm looking at the clock, and somebody's intentionally just fast-forwarding the hour. Lost and my reputation at the skill, I did something I hadn't done in almost 20 years. I talked to my dad about cooking. I Skype him to show me how to do the rice right. I'm taking the phone over to the boiling pot, and the screen fogs up. I'm screaming into the phone because the connection is weak on that side, and I'm telling him, Dad, this is gonna be shola. And he says, calm down, tell me what kind of rice and how long did you soak it for? The first thing that occurred to my mind was, Dad, how can you be so calm? Can't you see? But I took a deep breath and explained the situation to him. And he said, make dough and seal the pot lid with it. Like airtight the rice? He said, yes. I let a sigh of relief out, just like the one when you're not sure which line to cut in a time bomb, and then you get a professional tip. It was like that. I had done it. I removed the lid later, and I realized the dough had captured all the aroma of the rice and had infused it back into it. I scooped out a little bit, and the grains are falling one by one, just like they should be. So I'm eating this, trying it a little bit, and then something made sense to me. So for a long time, I was subconsciously building resentment towards my dad for not sharing his skills, because if he could, I would be a celebrity chef in Manhattan today. But I realized if he had actually, I wouldn't be in America in the first place. So my roommate shows up, and he's trying the food, and his head is down, and he's nodding and saying, this is really good. This is really good. And I said, you know, man, sometimes you can be ambitious, and still things will turn out perfect. Thank you.